What's up, turkeys? Back at it in the crowded halls of YouTube absurdity, in the bowed Charles of Coo-Poo Batterbity, and the Today's video, we're going to be responding to Tommy Vinyl Knot's 2022 Punk Vinyl Tag! I know I'm probably a week or two late, but whatever. Get off my back, Dad! It is what it is. Here it is. I'm doing it now. So cheers to Tommy over at Tommy's Vinyl Knot. Chuck that sucker out. He posed 20 questions to the rest of us fools, and I'ma answer them right away. Got to wear a proper shirt for a Tommy response video. Yeah. Turvet Cadet. Bow. This from when I seen them 8, 10, some number of years ago. The only time I seen them, and they're on tour with one of my best friends ever, Pat in Gas Chamber. So that's cool. Great show. Anywho, 20 questions is a lot to get through, so let's go.
And begin. Question number 1. Show a new punk record from 2021.
Damn, my whole last video was all records from 2021. So I pulled one other one I got from that year that wasn't in the last video, so we're not repeating shit. I grabbed this thing. This is Lars Fredriksson from Rancid, etc. It's a solo record from him named To Victory. 6 songs only. Looking at this fucking thing, I'm like, how the hell do you tell the difference between the A-side and the B-side? But it doesn't matter, because it has the same 6 songs on both sides. It's pretty cool, man. It's good shit. It's not essential, but it's not bullshit either. You got 2 cover songs, Tomorrow's Girls by the UK Subs, and Coming Home by Kiss, which strangely somehow fits in. And then the other 4 songs are like jams from like the Bastards and Old Firm Casuals, like from his other bands. No new tracks really. But these are like different, like minimalist versions, you know. And whereas most dudes that put out something like this are doing like some acoustic singer-songwriter kind of versions of their shit, Lars for the most part is still like electric guitar and screaming and shouting. Good on him. Sounds cool still. I don't know, I mean, most of these probably would be better with a full band. There's minimal accompaniment and or no accompaniment on most of this shit. It's good, not great. I remember right before quarantine he was talking about doing a solo tour, which is probably why over quarantine he decided to record some of that shit, you know? And it gives a little fucking story behind each tune on there.
Number 2. Show a reissue or compilation punk record from 2021.
This here sucker didn't somehow make my best of 2021 video, but it definitely should have. Some kind of oversight on my part, because this shit rules. This collects 14 early demos from the Ramones recording in February of 1975. It's like a full year before their fucking first record, man. Shit rules. Comes with a poster. Nothing else to say. It's the Ramones in 1975. It fucking rules.
Number 3. Name an album you're looking forward to in 2022.
I'm hoping that 2022 gives us a vinyl pressing of Soldiers of Destruction's Cause and Effect album. This came out on CD in 2021, but it needs to come out on a record in 2022. Yeah. Soldiers of Destruction is a super cool band based out of Las Vegas right now, but with roots going back to 1981, 1982 England, right? Only original member at this point is the singer Morat, who started it back up here in Vegas a couple years ago. Super cool band, super cool dudes, great album. Need to get that sucker on vinyl. If you're not familiar with the group, back in the early 80s they played gigs with The Exploited, GB8, English Dogs, The Addicts, UK Subs, all them, you know. It's like straight out of that scene. But they never recorded back in the 80s. So this is like their first official recording. And they have like a good chunk of those early 80s songs that like fits in perfect with the whole No Future Records, Riot City Records fucking scene, you know? That kind of UK 82 Mohawk kind of punk, but with like a fucking good Motorhead kick to it, you know? You can see here on the Peter and the Test Tubes Pissed and Proud LP, Peter is actually wearing a Soldiers of Destruction shirt. This is back in 82 or so. So better late than never, I say. Glad they finally got some recordings out. Let's get that shit on vinyl this year. You guys know I Am Records is willing to probably put that sucker out for you if you want it. Otherwise, get on it.
Number 4. Show your first punk record.
The first punk records I ever got are these 3. Bam. Sex Pistols, Never Trust a Hippie, Bootleg, GBH, Midnight Madness and Beyond LP. Exploited, War Now, 12-inch EP. I got all three the same day, at the same time, at the same place, so they all count as my first, I figure. Grabbed this the very last day of 9th grade. Would have been like 1995-ish or so at Heavy Metal Records in Webster, New York, which, despite the name, had a pretty cool punk and hardcore section. Bought a lot of my early collection there. Great store. Now, despite these being my first three punk records, I had like CDs and tapes of crap before this. This is just the first punk vinyl that I bought. Sex Pistols, Never Trust a Hippie. This is a bootleg of live recordings, like various live recordings, stuff from England, stuff from the American tour. This came out in '85. No real label to speak of. Decent live recordings. Not bad, not great. It's cool though. Exploited, War Now, 1988, Combat Records, Camouflage Combat label. This is a fucking weird place to start off with the Exploited, man. 3-song EP with the fucking dub version of Sexual Favors. It's a lot to handle. War Now and United Chaos and Anarchy are both pretty solid mid to late 80s Exploited shit. You know, a tiny bit metallic, but still pretty much just like ripping fucking British hardcore punk. GBH, Midnight Madness and Beyond. This is 1986 on Combat Core. Strange the GBH is on Combat Core, but Exploited's on regular combat. You'd think they both be core. This is 1986 GBH, and I'll be damned if it isn't a killer record. It's great shit. It's just straight up hard-nosed fucking punk shit. Would I have been better served if my first GBH record was City Baby Attacked by Rats and my first Exploited record was Troops of Tomorrow? Probably. The mid-80s is a weird stepping in point for some of these bands, but kind of dig it. But I didn't know at the time. I didn't have the internet yet, so it's like I didn't know that bands like had better records or worse ones, or which ones they would be. Just fucking like, oh, I heard of that. I mean, it's got Mohawk skeletons. How could you go wrong? It's cool though. I've come to really enjoy the mid to late 80s period of punk rock. It's very strange, you know. You got, you know, the bands going crossover, the bands going alternative, and the bands that just stayed punk rock in that era, their punk rock is like a weird version of punk shit too. It's like it's an interesting time in punk history, I think. Fucking like 87 to 90. Some weird shit going on.
Number 5, Chile Punk's 7-inch singular EP.
Very well then, I offer you Pakinska Patka with the Ruzenbitty Pamatan I'm Lad 7-inch single. Bella Sliva on the B-side there. Fucking pterodactyls. Pakinska Patka. Surely my favorite Yugoslavian punk band from the 70s. Yeah. Look at these fellas. This is on the Jugoton record label, 1979. This thing's fucking great. Starts off with like a weird fucking chant and then goes into like perfect 70s punk, man. More of a UK sounding 70s punk than a US sounding 70s punk, I would say. Fucking great single. Check it out.
Number 6, Chile Punk 10-inch.
Quincy Punks, Stuck on Stupid. Is it double points if it's got punks in the band name? 1996 Recess Records. This was one of my favorite current bands in the mid-90s. Ultra fucking snotty ass, quickish, hardcore punk shit. Think like 90s version of the Freeze, maybe. Big Germs influence.
Insert.
Sure enough, 10 inches.
Number 7, Show a Punk compilation LP.
How about this one? The vinyl tag came from Finland, so we gotta include some Finnish shit. Yeah. Propaganda. Russia bombs Finland. Holy hell. What a fucking monster of a compilation LP this is. Look at the bands on it. Risatet, Bastards, Kaus, Appendix, Third Cadet. Shit's sick. bro. Original pressing, red vinyl propaganda record. 1982, yeah. It's incredible. Indispensable. Absolutely killer. Hardcore punk. It's a comp. There's a bunch of different bands, you know. So you got some bands that are of the more raw and fast variety, and some that are of the more drunk punk variety. It's all fucking good. I like fucking Propaganda Records. What a label, right? Holy shit.
Number 8, show a 70s punk record.
Stiff Little Fingers. Inflammable Material. Perfect record. Irish group. This came out on Rough Trade 1979. This is a 1980 US pressing. Suspect Device. Here We Are Nowhere. Wasted Life. Barbed Wire Love. Alternative Ulster. You kidding me? Anybody remotely into punk rock should own this fucking record. It is perfect. Fucking amazing vocals from this dude. Killer Bob Marley cover. Fucking great punk record. You should have this. Get this record. Good.
Number 9, show an 80s hardcore record, why don't ya?
Don't mind if I do. As soon as I heard this question, I was like, I'm gonna pick Jerry's Kids, Is This My World? But then that weaselly rat, Ryan Kidd, showed it already. Good choice, Ryan. This fucking record is one of the best 80s hardcore records that ever came out, I think. But since he already picked that, let's pick a different one of the best 80s hardcore records that ever came out. Fucking Poison Idea, the Kings of Punk. Ouch, he got his little owie, ouch. Look at these guys. Whoa, you stick your tongue out at me. You don't stick your tongue out at me with your tiny glasses. Poison Idea, Kings of Punk, 1986, Pussmort Records. Holy shit. What can you say? Fucking fast, brutal, pissed the fuck off hardcore punk rock. Classic.
Number 10, show a crossover or post-punk record.
Hey, one up both. Crossover, Cryptic Slaughter, probably my second favorite crossover band. The Accused are obviously the greatest. This is Cryptic Slaughter's second LP, Money Talks, from 1987. Ronnie and Nancy up there.
Jugs, not drugs. I mean, if this band photo doesn't scream out crossover at you, nothing will. Metal guy and punk guy together at last. Those fucking righteous Sex Pistols jeans, minor thread leather, just the border of the classic 80s thrash photo collage. Fucking Death Records. As the name of the genre implies, and the pictures of the dudes, this is half punk, half metal. I'd say Cryptic Slaughter at this point leans a little more towards the hardcore side than the metal side, but both genres are represented as they should be. This is real fucking fast. One of the fastest bands in 87, probably. Money talks and people listen! Killer. Post-punk record I chose is Painless Nights by the Sleepers. Sleepers have Ricky Williams on vocals. He played drums in Crime, San Francisco's first and only rock and roll band. He was the first singer for Flipper, but he never ended up recording with them. He got kicked out of Flipper for being too messed up, which is a feat, cause Flipper. He was also in the Toiling Midgets. Guitar player is from Tuxedo Moon. This is on Adolescent Records from 1980. The Sleepers play some moody, creepy, psyched out post-punk shit. Real weird vocals, possibly an acquired taste on the vocals, but super cool record. Pretty unique, I think. Number 11, show your band or your friend's band.
Okay. Here's a quick history of bands I've been in. The ones that put out records anyway. I got some tapes and CDs and other bullshit hanging out there, but here's the records. The Dents, The End of All Civilization. This is my first band to put out a record. This guy said this came out in 99. I'm pretty damn sure it came out in 1998. I might have to go in and edit that bullshit. Anyway, here's little me over here with my GBH shirt and my patched up pants. This band was like a mixture of the Discord 1981 Year and 7 Inches with fucking like what was going on in the 90s at the time, like Casualties, Blink 77, street punk shit. My next band was named War Squad. This came out in 2003. This is the Can't Control the Youth EP. This band was pretty obsessed with 80s hardcore. Say a mix of like Black Flag, Negative Approach with like the skate rock faction kind of shit. And I was listening to a shit ton of crossover Accused and Cryptic Slaughter and shit at the time. I sang in all the bands. I'm always the singer. This is on Punks Before Profit, which was our bass player's record label. He put out a ton of records, actually. Pretty sure there's a couple different colors out there for this one. We seemed to have a problem with George Bush at the time.
Can't say that's changed.
Next band, UV Rays. This was our, last record. We did another 7-inch and a CD before before this thing. UV Rays Are Sick of Humans, 2007. It's Feral Kid Records, that was our buddy's label. He's still putting shit out. The second fucking pterodactyl in this goddamn video. UV Rays was like a mix of like Black Flag, Gangrene kind of hardcore shit with more like 70s punk and also like MC5 Stooges kind of shit. Like real rock and roll and shit. After UV Rays, I took like a break for a while. I moved to a different place. I had some kids. I didn't have a band for a little bit, but I do got a band again out here now called Suburban Resistance. If you watched me before, you probably heard me talk about them before. This is our new record, just came out like a couple weeks ago. This is our second LP. I Am Records, it's run by my drummer. Suburban Resistance is like a usually melodic punk band. Kind of influences maybe Ramones, Misfits, Descendants, Social Distortion, but like definitely kind of, we're old and don't give a fuck to stick to one sound, so if we feel like doing a hardcore song, we do that. It's like, I ain't never played an 80s power ballad before. Let's fucking try. We play all sorts of shit, but you know, all loosely under the goddamn punk curtain. The Suburban Resistance stuff is still available for sale. You can buy it at iamrecordstore.com, or you can like hit me up on here and I can fucking send you some shit. All this older shit, it's old. It's sold out. I don't got it anymore, but last I checked, all this shit is super cheap on Discogs if you're interested.
Number 12, show an all-female punk band or female-fronted punk band's record.
There's lots of great female-fronted bands, but let's go fucking for full-on all-female bands, cause why the fuck not? The Slits, Cut, 1979 Antilles Records. It's kind of fucking 70s UK punk minimalist shit mixed with like reggae and dub stuff. Or what about Shonen Knife, right? It's kind of like poppy Japanese female food punk. Food punk. Look at how cute. It's a 1990 release on Gasatanka. It compiles some of their like early 80s Japanese recordings. Cycling is fun. Wait, what about the Donnas? American Teenage Rock and Roll Machine on Lookout Records, 1998.
They got their little shirts that say their little names.
Got the calendar for 98 in there? Brutal. Looks like whatever jackass had this record before me was actually using it as a calendar, as there's pinholes. These girls were like, what if we mixed like 90s pop punk with 80s hard rock? Let's find out. It's good.
Number 13, show a punk record from your favorite punk record label.
Yeah, too many good labels to choose from. I guess today I'll pick Danger House Records. And to represent Danger House, let's pull the Deadbeats Kill the Hippie single, yeah? Biggity bam, biggity bam. Final Ride. Put on that sucker. Danger House was like a California 70s punk label that put out mainly singles. No, they did the Black Randy LP and a Comp LP. I think the rest are singles. This Deadbeats record is from 78. It's like synthy weirdo punk shit. Featuring the great Giza X. Giza X? You know what I mean, right? Pre-mommy men. Today I'm taking you on your final ride. Fucking cool shit. Danger House is great though, man. They put out a long string of top-notch punk rock singles out of California in the 70s. X, The Bags, The Weirdos, The Dills, The Eyes, The Alley Cats, The Deadbeats, The Avengers, Rhino 39. Good label.
Number 14, show a band's self-released or DIY punk record.
Okay, how's about this one? What many point to as the very first DIY punk rock record, Spiral Scratch by the Buzzcocks. Put out in 1977 on New Hormones, which was just a label put together to put this out by the band and their manager. Many future punk labels took the example of New Hormones and said, fuck it, we don't need to get signed. We can just do this shit ourselves. This is indeed a real deal first pressing of this sucker, man. Fucking classic with Howard Devoto singing. A little bit different feeling and flavor than the Buzzcocks we all know and love. Boredom. Fucking killer. A lot of times you'll find this and it says Buzzcocks with Howard Devoto there. That's how you know it's a second or third press or whatever. Little fucking price tag scar, sad. Anyway, Fucking classic. Some of the earliest and greatest UK punk rock to come out and done all by themselves, all DIY like. Let's pull another DIY release for the hell of it, man. These are my buddy's 17th Class. So it's put out again by Punks Before Profits record, which is my friend Ryan's label that put out that War Squad record that was one of my bands. And these guys just built this whole shit themselves, you know. You got like just 2 pieces of paper for the front and back cover, record, some stickers, little insert booklet. The dude Alex that sang in this band used to do a zine that's just like this side called Dunkin' Piss, I think. Even a little homemade armband they put in there. Poster, they got it all. 17th Class. Loud and fast 80s hardcore jerk punk. It's good. It's like fucking great teenage hardcore punk. It's from like 2002. My band used to play with these guys all the time. We did a fucking half a tour with them too. Just teenagers out there putting out their own records. It's cool.
Number 15. Show your most valuable punk record.
Oh dang, dare you pry deep into my heavily guarded vaults? The most precious of the precious? It's this one, Misfits, Horror Business single. Floaty Head Back, Yellow Vinyl, Plan 9 Records, 1979, Horror Business. Teenagers from Mars, Children in Heat. Plus insert, what's there to say about Misfits records anymore? God damn. The prices on these have gone fucking through the roof in the last couple years. It's crazy. I've been collecting a long time. This shit was always hard to find and expensive, but not anywhere near what it is right now, I tell you that. 3 perfect songs. Horror punk. Lil Glenn Danzig. Killer shit. 100% doing their very own thing in 1979. Making good tunes that sounded only like them. Cool shit.
Number 16. Show a record from a local punk band.
Local to my current locale, The Vermin from Venus. Attack of the Killer Virgin Prom Queen EP. Freak Records 1986. Kind of mid-paced punk rock. Pretty big influence from like the early 80s California hardcore shit. It's cool. Featuring Dirk Vermin there, Derek in the middle, who's been doing punk rock bands with Vermin in the name for a long time. First Vermin from Venus, then just The Vermin. Currently doing a band called Mondo Vermin that's kind of like playing the greatest hits from his 95 years as Vermin band guys. Had some TV show about tattooing for a while. Cheers, Dirk. But let's also shoot a nice waffle of respect to my hometown, Rochester, New York, and show Armin Shabrock Steels, the rat fucker. Dun, 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 dun. King of the great house of guitars. I don't know if you'd call this a straight up punk record. There was a lot of punk records from my hometown I could have picked, and I already showed a couple of mine, but I thought I'd show this one anyway. I'd call this more proto-punk. This is like some Lou Reed kind of shit. Rat fucker. This is 1978 Mirror Records, which they ran this label. That label also did a lot of shit with the Chesterfield Kings, another cool band from Rochester. Like I said, this is like some weirdo style Lou Reed proto-punky kind of 70s rock shit. Pull up Rat Fucker on YouTube or wherever you can find it and see what you think. Rat Fucker! Classic material.
Show a record from a punk band with a fun name.
How's about the Spiky Joys? This is a split with The Attacked. Both bands are from Japan. Came out in 1997 on Knockout Records. Just another punk split LP. I don't really know what the Spiky Joys means, and maybe that's why it's a fun name to me. It totally captures the beauty of 90s broken English, Japanese, spiky hair street punk. Because of course the Japanese were probably the greatest at 90s spiky hair drunk punk. And the Spiky Joys are fucking shooting out the hits on this record, I tell ya. The Attacked ain't so bad themselves, but Spiky Joys win the battle in my opinion. Punks and Chaos, Mohawk Skeleton.
Excellent use of space on the insert.
It's just fun, drunken, sing-along punk. Spiky Joys and The Attacked.
Show a record you brought from the punk gig.
I've bought and sold countless records at punk gigs over the years, but for whatever reason, this one popped into my mind. I bought this off some kid from a small box of records he was selling in some basement somewhere in New York sometime in the 2000s. Oi polloi, Total Resistance to the fucking System. This came out in 2006. Social Bomb Records. Fucking totally angry anarcho street punk. Oi polloi are fucking great band. I first really became aware of Oi Polloi in 1998 or 1999. My band, The Dents, was out touring, and we fucking ran into Oi Polloi somewhere in fucking Ohio playing the same show. And these guys were super fucking cool, man. Really nice dudes. They gave me a fucking tape that day that had a bunch of these songs on it. And this shit was all like recorded at the same session sometime in the 90s, I think. They came out on various 7 inches and compilations and shit. And this LP kind of collects that whole recording session to have them all together, man. When we see the fish, we let the boots do the talking. Fucking A, dude. Carson! Carson! Oh, this fucking cool record. Pissed Off Anarcho Street Punk. Great band.
Show a record you listened to before going to the punk gig.
Well, dang, that could be anything in here. But since we gotta pick something, why don't we pick this? The Newtown Neurotics. Kick out the Newtown Neurotics story. This, I think, is supposed to go along with an upcoming documentary on the band, which I'm looking forward to, because this band is great. This collects their first 6 singles, which should cover the years probably 79-ish to 84 or so, something in there. Real big, nice book. Look at Long Hair and Mustaches by the Punk Rock Spray Paint.
You know it's special.
Quality fodder for the Mustache Punk's Instagram page. We'll have to do a whole Mustache Punk episode, because that's like its own thing, right? A rare breed. Anywho, back to the fucking Neurotics, man. Kind of came on at the end of the 70s and were playing during the UK 82 stuff, but didn't really go for that sound. Definitely stuck with more of a 70s sound. It's fucking good, honest, fucking melodic, working class, political punk rock. You know, there's like some heartfelt punk rock anthems and protest songs, dude. Hypocrite is just like a perfect punk rock song. It's like a perfect mix of Sex Pistols, Ramones, and the Saints, right? Killer tune. Great band.
Number 20, show the punk record you are listening to drunk at home.
Well, dang, once again, there could be several thousand answers to that question, but how about we go for this one right here? Punk and Disorderly. 16 sing-along punk rock hits. Vice Squad, Addicts, Peter and the Test Tube Babies, Dead Kennedys, fucking GBH.
Just some good time rock and roll.
Got fucking D-Mob, No Room for You on there, man. That song's a fucking gem. Blitz. I mean, Blitz is always good sing-along drunk music for sure. Could have just picked the Blitz record.
But a little bit of variety never hurt anyone, right?
Fucking Mohawks on the Street. Abstract Records. UK. 82. Dig it. Well, Golding. That was fun. Thanks, fucking Tommy. Check out his channel, man. Check out all the other fools. There's a million other people that did this one already. You know, it's about time I got done on it. I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers!